Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
It's not just your run-of-the-mill action movie. Pretty high concepts and delivering them at high octane, fast cuts, big explosions, huge stunts level. He's created something which is an epic, blockbuster and franchise movie, which has been laced with a huge amount of thought and care and all of his own making.
The decision was to go out into a real place, and being in Namibia allowed us a vast landscape in which to play and stage these events.
I got chills completely shooting that stuff.
He looked at me! She looked right at me! Look at your blood bag!
To hear the noise, feel the rumble of this big V8 chugging away underneath you, and then you see trucks full of these war boys flying past. Everyone's hyped up. It's flames, and then your car's meant to be one of the quickest, so you're weaving in and out of all these bikes and trucks, and you're going to the front of the war party, and you're pulling your steering wheel off and saluting everyone and cheering them on. A lot of it's not active because you do kind of get this adrenaline rush.
There's a great challenge in setting something, just logistically, trying to dramatize a story that's in constant movement is very, very tricky. And I don't think a lot of filmmakers would do this for any amount of money, You're limited to space, not just space for actors, but space for cameras. I think it could be very frustrating to a lot of people, but to George, it's in the challenge of all of that, it's almost what he thrives in, and that's when he comes alive. It becomes the ultimate experience because even though you're limited in certain areas, you have a filmmaker that is seeing possibilities where you could never even see possibilities.
The world fell. Each of us, in our own way, was broken. It was hard to know who was more crazy.
We worked really, really hard to make sure that those loyal fans of the Mad Max movies will be satisfied, and more than satisfied. It's going to be an amplified experience. You have to do that 30 years later. It's going to be, I'm not going to say on steroids, but it's going to be very familiar on the one hand and unique also. They'll get their thirst quenched.